Hey there, Wes Dove here with Dove Development Consulting. Before I go any further and talk about what we're going to really work through over the next several days in Daily Dose of Leadership, I want to give you a last-minute invitation to join me and Cindy Friday for a complimentary webinar we're doing in our Intentional Action for Ongoing Growth series. This one is called How Top Leaders Set the Tone for Recruitment and Retention. Now, this is a lesson that we've gotten approved for credit through SHRM and HRCI, but we're going to be rolling out a special product at the end of that, a digital resource that we've recently finalized. We've updated, we've made some pretty cool changes to it, but we've also gotten it approved through the National Association of Long-Term Care Administrator Boards. And so it's kind of cool in that the way that's set up. We're going to be making some special offers. We're going to be throwing in some cool bonuses. But even if you don't take advantage of that, that's okay. The webinar itself is complimentary. It's approved through SHRM and HRCI. But more importantly, we're going to really drive into some practical action steps that you can take to learn and understand why people quit people, not companies, how it's really all about leadership. And we're going to really dive into how much turnover, voluntary turnover, how much it costs an organization. So the link is in wherever you're seeing this video. You can click on that. You got to register. What you'll do is if you go to this page, you'll hit this blue button. It takes you down to the bottom. You put in your name and your email. Boom, you're done. You get all the information. So that's all with us. Now, over the next several days, I'm changing gears. Over the next several days in a Daily Dose of Leadership, we're going to be walking through something that I did in a LinkedIn article that I published yesterday. I called it Don't Wait Until You Get There. But the real idea behind what we're looking at is we all go through stuff, right? We all have hard times that we work through. And this last year has been incredibly hard for a lot of people. My goodness, I could go on and on and on about some of the changes that Cindy and I have experienced in the last 10 months in our business. How we had some amazing things lining up. We were really gaining momentum. And then boom, March 10th or March 11th hit and the world shut down and we couldn't do those things. And we've had to, gosh, I hate the word pivot. We've had to do some of that stuff and we've really changed a lot of what we do. But I can look back over the last 20 years of our married life and say, there's been so many things that we could have pointed to and said, wow, that stinks. Wow, that was bad. But instead, it was always a focus on how can we make lemonade out of the lemons that we're throwing? How can we really make good come from whatever the scenario is? Now, here's the challenge. So many times people get caught up in the doing and they think, when I get there, this is going to be awesome. When I do this, it's going to be great then. And right now it just sucks. And I've got to trudge through the mud and all this stuff. And that's not necessarily true. We've got to work at looking at how do we find the joy in the process. Just this morning, as I'm recording this video, just 2 hours ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, about how as a young man, he had some cool opportunities, but he often, because he had young kids and he was responsible for raising them and taking care of them, he didn't do some of the things that maybe would have been more fun because he had responsibility. And we all sometimes fall into things like that. And when we really work through those scenarios, it's not about was it always fun, but did I find the joy in the process? So we're going to be working through that because let's be honest, when we're in leadership roles, when we take leadership responsibility and we're working to serve the people that we're responsible for and to, it's tough sometimes. It can get really stinking hard. And we've got to be intentional about how do we look for the joy in the process and not just get fixated on here's what it'll be when I get there. And that's what we're going to dig into. If you don't have access to a Daily Dose of Leadership currently, click the link wherever you're seeing this video. Click the link and you'll be able to get access to it immediately. And you'll be in the pipeline and be able to access these over the next several days. Look forward to seeing you soon. And again, circle back to the first link I've added here. If you don't have access to the complimentary webinar we're doing in just over 48 hours, I challenge you to jump in. It's going to be a fun process and you'll get some pretty neat resources along the way. Look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. God bless.